Hi, I'm Fernando Fontecha. I'm a Mexican transplant living in Seattle, trying to navigate through this sea of uncertainty called life. First, quick recap of events, or at least a bit of more context on why I'm doing this. So, when I moved to Seattle, I initially moved in with my brother, and we moved in into a 2-bedroom apartment. But due to some happy changes, I might say, I recently made the decision to move out and start living in my own. Well, almost on my own. Not sure if you got a chance to see my dog, Pofu. That's Shih Tzu, and his name is Pofu, and he lives with me. This is still pretty new to me, all of this. It's both daunting and exciting at the same time. So, why don't you join me through this video series trying to understand life better? One thing I quickly realized is that time passes by differently when we're alone. It sometimes flies by or just drags on forever. And this, more often than not, leads to procrastination in some side projects. And trust me, I should know, this video series idea has been in the talks for quite some time now. But ultimately, these decisions of procrastination or how we want to perceive time is something that it's up to us. And we make these decisions either unconsciously or consciously. Or in some cases, unconsciously conscious, if that makes any sense. Which hopefully it does, at least it does to me. Reflecting on my own journey, I'd say I've made quite the decisions lately, moving from Mexico to the United States or even moving in alone. These changes, I'd say, have shaped who I am, and it continues to do so. This video series, I like to make it as easy as possible for me to document my life, to track my progress, and just better understand myself on what I do with my free time and whatnot, and hopefully connect with anyone else who is in a similar situation as I am. Being on your own usually brings, how should I put this, there's pockets of time, right? And with this free time, at least I find myself trying to find new hobbies or digging old ones for that matter. I've been trying out lately film and digital photography. In regards with old hobbies, I'd say baking has been an interesting thing. Now, baking is an old hobby that I have enjoyed for quite some time now, but I'd say it grew over the COVID-19 pandemic, right? I got really into it during that time with my mom, but now, since I moved out and with all this new free time, I found myself enjoying it a bit more. It actually pushed me back to this hobby that I previously liked, so hopefully from time to time, we'll share an episode of me cooking while I talk to you about life. And you know what? This past week, I bought a lot of bananas. These bananas are gonna get bad really soon, so probably we should bake some banana bread. Let's go. Lately, I've been focusing on trying to write a script for this video. I was trying to make it as coherent and perfect as possible, which I now realize is probably a mistake I made right from the start, thinking it had to be perfect. And if you're like me, then this becomes a pretty hard lesson to learn. It's similar to an artist working on a masterpiece. If the goal of the artist is to get to that perfect version of art, as soon as they finish the artwork, which they originally envisioned as perfect, they'll notice that there's probably just another stroke they could add or a different shade they could blend, constantly adjusting their notion of perfect. So it becomes an ever-changing goal. It's better to have something good, something decent, than never really getting to that perfect version of things that we envisioned. In fact, this original banana bread recipe was from my brother, but somehow got lost on my computer. So I started owning it and adding new stuff that wasn't there in the first place. But that doesn't mean that one is better than the other. They're just different recipes now, both tasting great, by the way. Managing our time should be our number one priority, especially if you have the privilege of time. Let that time be time to work out, or getting up early and get more out of your day, or even setting some time aside to work on side projects like this, or even doing the meal prep for the rest of the week. Speaking of which, I'm not gonna do a meal prep, but I should start working on baking this banana bread. So I'll just get right to it, and hopefully you'll get to enjoy some cinematic b-roll, hopefully, of me doing this. the end of the day, we need to learn how to use change to our advantage and get familiar with ourselves as we evolve over time. Discover what are the things we really like and what are those that we don't, and just focus on being us. It's better to have something good, something genuine, rather than trying to get to that perfect version. Because reality is, perfect will never be enough. Instead, if we focus on being genuine, we'll soon realize that this is what differentiates us from everyone else, and that's what makes us us. We just need to embrace change and flow with it, and I think that's what I will be taking from this new project I'm embarking on. Especially this pilot episode, this project to better document my life and track my growth throughout the years. Hopefully, in 2 years' time, I can look back at this video and realize that all I needed to do was understand myself better and embrace change.